This is Gamer 1745. And I'm going to be playing some War Thunder, hopefully with a few friends, and we'll see how this goes. Gaming Brother says it's there. He's there. I don't know, is Gaming Brother here? Well, since he hasn't spoke. Hey, there's Gaming Brother, you here? I will give you an invite to squad. Can you join me at 4-3? Yeah? All right, well, let's go. Defeat our enemies. Ah, okay. Which do you like best? Yeah, it's your homeland. Yeah, Puma's cool. And hello, ZZ. You're here early. A little park bench there. And well angled. Let's see what this big thing is, all the bushes on it. Ah, it's that weird tank destroyer prototype thingy. Yeah, he did. One got past me. There's enemy on the point. Still one sort of here. Kill this thing in front of me. Yeah, oh, he's coming out to shoot at me. And I got him. Hey, Januska. Short church services could be good. Yeah. Uh-oh. Gaming Brother died. point here. Right. Ah, damn, you got me. Didn't know it was a 57. Those are high velocity penetrators. I was figuring it was a 76, lower velocity. But hey, white's fine. White's fine in this city. Lots of bright buildings. So I got a little Hetzer here with a infantryman's setup backpack rifle helmet, another helmet on the top of the, and a pack of airborne drop supplies. And an extra fuel can. Now, dear viewers, names and designations and terminology can be confusing, because the Germans were known to, at least for their main parachute drops during the war, drop without their standard weapons, shall we say. I don't want to say heavy weapons, I want to say standard weapons. I have heard that they carried their pistols with them. But does that mean machine pistols? Or as in MP40s? Or just things like P38s and Lugers? I'm not sure. Behind me? Oh, there's a friendly Sherman there. Yeah. I think it's an Italian Sherman or something, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like so you can see on the mini map, they're all closing in on the spawn point. There may be a few rogue vehicles out, but can't get the aircraft. Huh? Come on, you're gonna fly lower. Oh, did I hit that aircraft somehow? I think it just crashed. I don't think I sniped it, but I got credit for it. You little hetzer killed an aircraft. Right. Well, when you're ready, hit the button. Well, you're going to swing around behind A. You know, a lot of people like to battle in that city, but yeah. These Luma drivers who really don't know how to drive the vehicles, damn. You don't know. Yeah, learn how to drive, King, brother. Crashing the people. If you swing way hard around the edge of the map, stay low here. Don't go over that ridge. Keep going straight ahead, sort of where you're going, where those other vehicles are. That's a rock. There's a bunch of them over here, and somebody's popped a lot of smoke, which makes it difficult to kill them. No, no, don't. I want to kill these guys. Yeah, well, scout all you can, please do. Don't. I wouldn't go forward. I wouldn't go forward because there's a bunch out there. Nah, damn. He's gonna probably shoot at me. So, nope, he's shooting at gaming, brother. Another hit on him, no damage. Damn. Damn, he's being resilient. And snipe his track. There's his track gone. And his two at the moment. But now I can maneuver again. Let's come up here. is right up there. There we go. Good. Friendlies down in the water. Something straight ahead of, up here in front of me. You might want to scout him before he kills. Oh no, he killed you. Okay. Who is dead? Another pen. Oh, somebody else got him. All right. Who's faster at reloading? He's backing up. Okay. Hello. Machine gun port. Nope, he backed up. There's a hit on the machine gun port, but no pen. He's right sort of there. You'll spit up. Somebody else killed him. Well, which time period? ZZ's asking what British history and what time period. Well, the 18th century is the period that I have the most interest in. Over there. There we go. Kill its exposed crew. That's why the title 1745 is in the name. It's the year. Many, many years ago, I went and studied in Britain and did a lot of original source, well, not a lot, but some original source research into that year and events around there. I think to read very old handwriting. Copper plate and other sorts of styles of here. None of this thing is silly. I see target. What's the target? Not yet. One's down. Oh, we'll see the kill cam. Let's save the. Oh, somebody over there now. Yeah. There. Hello, hungry man. How you doing? Guess you're hungry. Yes, you can join us if you wish. Next match. Those are bombs. They fell on the rocks. Bombs on the rocks. Oh, somebody's on the point.
Attention to the designated grid square.
I don't know if I should turn around and go deal with it. Maybe. Got the ass. Okay, let's go. Well, let me invite you because there's two of us here, so we have a squad of two. If you would type in what your War Thunder name is so I can search for you. No, I don't want to get right next to you so there's a single bombing target. The artillery target. Yeah. Okay, I will invite you next mission. Well, I can't go deal with the whole map, so I will want my team to, I guess, lose this for us, but hey. Oh, okay. Yeah, you have a 50 cal. Yeah, he's popping smoke. He just lost his loader and driver. Home. Oh. Damn, okay. Lower. The Stuart Meal killed him. Just do War Thunder just on Sundays. Stream other games on Saturdays. I actually have something of a life. Not much of a life, but something of a life that I can't stream all the time. Enemy's winning. But me and the Stewer Emil here are pulling down. Hey, Dina. Okay, no problem. Glad to have you here when you can make it. Was going to say this match is almost over, but it looks for some strange reason our team is maybe going to turn it around. Okay. Over here. Turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around. Done? You got him. Cool. BF-109 killed ASU-57. Good work, dude. Hate those little things.
Most of the strategic zones are captured.
Okay. Oh, hey, look, my machine gun got caught. Look at that. Oh, no, it's because the commander is. No, I don't know. I guess it's the driver gunner and commander is considered dead. Okay. Yeah, that's it. All right. Let me ask Gaming Brother, what's your favorite submachine gun? If you don't have one, that's okay. It's just no submachine gun. Hungry man, not machine gun, but okay. Dino, what's your favorite submachine gun? MP40. Okay. Okay. Gaming Brother. I think mine would have to be probably the MP5. UMP45. Yeah, that's a good one. Hungry man. I haven't fired one of those. But I don't know how well I'd like it. They look cool. It's sort of big though. Like I say, I haven't fired one. I don't even think I've held one, even like in semi-auto. Plus B, but holding B and A. Just waiting the clock out here. I'll get both of you, Hungry Man and Dino, in next mission in however long it takes for us to the 2 points. You got a lot of followers. Yeah, I got a fair number, but not necessarily big numbers. Oh, good. I'm getting planed. Killed another one of my men. And, oh, he crashed. Is he out of ammo or just a bad pilot?
Starte Motor! Verstanden!
And mission accomplished. Oh, give invites here. Here's the squad. Dino already is in the squad, so as soon as you log in, you should be. We will search for the. Oh, I put a space in between. Hey, yes, I see. We will invite you to the squad. Yep. Yeah, no space yet. It's you should have the invite now. Again. No, I can't. You look down in the bottom down here for your invite, because until you've either accepted it or rejected, I can't send you another one. It, right. We are at 4-3. If you guys don't mind. Use it 5-7. Cool, but just go down if you would to 4-3 or something below that. Or this BR. You need to get rid of the tiger and your VK. Get them out of your lineup. Put something else in there. Hungry man, please. Well, and your VK, because your VK's at. Oh no, it's now down. Gone. Great. Okay, great. We're at 4-3. Great. Cool. Thank you. Not all members are ready. Oh, who's not ready now? Gaming brother, get ready. All right. Okay. Well, I'm going to do the standard play. Kill all the enemy. Starting at the top. Well, I spawned at the top spawn up near A. Let's change that. There we go. There we go. Hey, D2. Things are going well for me. I hope things are going well for you as well. Oh, yeah. Gun. Use your gun on the trucks. Should do that here. Hello. You're a KV and somebody just shot you. Critical hit. He's badly taken out. Okay. Hit the rock. Kill him, kill him, hit him, hit him, hit him. And he's dead. Okay. Good. Well, you can complain a bit if you like. Let me get up here and kill him. If you can't. Okay, get up here. There we go. He's dead. T-34. Goodbye, T-34. So, oh, gotta go right here. Damn, let's see what it is. Okay. Oh, if you can go. The critical hit is driver's gone. He ain't going anywhere. A little bit. He is dead now. Thanks for that. Yep. Yeah, now there's a spawn there. You shouldn't have retreated. You should have pushed out the guy there. Oh, the T-34 made it past me. Just didn't take the shot well enough. So there's a T-34 out there that may be coming for you guys on A. The KV that Gaming Brothers spotted is hiding behind the rocks from me. So let's see if I can move up better. Hit, no damage. He backed up. We go. Oh. Oh. Well, good.
Panzergranate geladen.
He took out a. What was that?
Panzergranate geladen.
Swarmer. Oh, there's a.
Panzergranate
Oh,
geladen.
okay. How did that not take your track out, dude? You're gonna give me your front. No penetration? Ah, I was in the sweet spot. These guys don't know. Well, they're not being very aggressive. Oh, they got me. They got me. There were at least 3 of them there. Oh, yeah, 3 coming out. Uh-oh. At least one T-34. I think it's a 57 in white. And a couple of KVs. No problem about not joining the streams. But yeah, I've been liking it. Manor Lords. Around. Oh shit, that was a bad shot. Is that okay? Okay, he's. Okay. Oh, good. Good, good. Yeah, I think there is. There should be one more KV1 there, I believe. You know, it's still early access, Manor Lords for sure, but it, I think, is a great game. It's a good resource management type game. I think that's maybe the best term for it. See you down here, KV. My God. It bounced off the side of the turret.
Panzergranate geladen.
Okay, got the KV that was behind the hill here.
Panzergranate geladen.
My brother just died, so I gotta go take that position. Okay, I've got the. Gonna get the SU-152 here. Right. I will hopefully get in here in time. Okay, okay, I got this guy here. Yep, there we go. I avenged Gaming Brothers' last death.
Panzergranate geladen.
Okay, I'm cutting off reinforcements again. Great. Well, if I can, I would. Take all the enemy out. Depends on the map. I do better on some maps than other maps. Partially a strategy issue, partially a skill issue.
Panzergranate geladen.
Ooh, got a giant boy over here. Okay, where do I want to put the round? Right there, right into your main turret crew is out. Injured. They got an aircraft or something as well.
Panzergranate
Somehow.
geladen.
I don't know if I should stay here or go back and defend A. KV2 just lost his turret crew, and a Sherman is trying to race out of here, and he made it before my gun crew could reload, and KV2 backed up. Well, yeah, we're gonna have company coming out here shortly. Alright. Yeah, I will. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're working up. All right. All right. Okay. See you back here later. Hopefully. Hopefully. What? He's just the three of us. All right. Yes, it was fun. Hit the ready button, Dina. Gaming Brothers home. Well, I'm going to circle around A. Yes. Just modern day world going to war, deciding to fight it in the Sweden. You know, they all drew lots as to what side they were going to be on. Yes. No, it's just those are the battlegrounds. You know, I mean, just we gotta have a battlegrounds. It's not who gets what countries. It's just yeah, yeah. Reach. Ha ha. Reach is gone. Oh, hit you on an angle. Here. In the right way. Yeah, it was. Hello. You got my transmission. I'm gonna kill you.
Panzergranate geladen.
Nobody behind me right now. You guys should have charged in there, breaker. We're gonna get him in just a second. He doesn't see me over here. Okay.
Panzergranate geladen.
Okay, you go that way. I'll go this way, and we'll kill the guy. Between us here. All right. Well, I've got your engine.
Panzergranate geladen.
You over there. Okay. Oh shit. Okay, well. Yeah, of course our 50 cal guy here has to distract me by shooting me. It's just a little distraction, but I was going, what? Oh, and then bang. I'm coming up to support you. Still have an enemy left when I get there. We killed an enemy. Oh, I see him and he's dead.
Panzergranate geladen.
My gaming brother's back. Yes. That was 50. Anybody down the road? No. Ah, good. That's fast. Did not get stopped. Engage, I think it was BT7 or something. Nope. Yes. You trying to do that? He may be coming out over here. Guess not. Oh, he left the point. There we go. Right near sweet spot.
Panzergranate geladen.
Thank you. Oh, man, you're gonna be stupid enough to come back out here? Yeah, got your track.
Panzergranate geladen.
Question is who repairs first now? Oh, no, KV1 gets me. The guys are, oh, it's over. Yeah, we get gaming brother back. Oh, I think we're losing the breaker. Do you play rank 3? Oh, sometimes, yeah. I got basically the full lineup here. I don't really like playing top tier stuff because I'm a World War II kind of guy. We've been playing a lot of Tigers recently, so we're sort of burnt out on that. At least I am at the moment. Burnt out on that BR. Yeah? Well, cool. Cool, cool, cool. So if you're not gonna join us, well, I'll remove you from the squad. Okay, good. Ready up? We'll go. Let's see. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. I am starting on the left. Going to go in between A and B. Left. You're a tiger? Okay. I thought we were BR. Okay, well, yeah, we're not gonna do this anymore. Yeah, I didn't know the. I thought Hungry Man had lowered his BR, but he hadn't. Fine. Cap it.
Motor repariert. Wir sind Meister.
There. Of all your critical guys, but somebody else kills me. Yay. You get lucky. As I go for one, and it was the same guy got me again. And he's a careful player. They're rare. He's heading for A, I think. The one that killed Gaming Brother and me. At least move into that flank. There. That's an error. Those are bombs. T-34 though. Yes, kamikazes. People will also, once they run out of ammo, just decide to crash instead of. And that was the guy who was hunting, but somebody else decided to shoot me. Bingo. No, crash with the cars. Well. Hmm. Hmm. Good. Back is over. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah. I'm done with the match. I'm leaving. Returning to hangar. Okay. Well, I guess Hungry Man wants to play at a higher VR, so he can do so on his own. Yeah, no, that pushed us way too far up than I want to play right now. Back to 4-3. 15 seconds. Crew lock. 12, 11. Dino can hit whenever he's ready. Ready button. And 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Hope for a new map. Map we haven't played yet today. And we got one. Winter Cervesk. St. Pat. I'm starting on the left-hand side. Okay. Something fast made it to A. Be careful. They're out there. Having is very helpful. And killing is even more helpful. 22. Very, very good work. Right, good to know. So if you'll move forward for me. Oh, there's also a Sherman which is giving me the side. And I got its engine. He decided to J out.
Ziel zerstört.
He's behind a building for me, the M10. Can't shoot through these anymore. Ah, there's another guy over here, it looks like. Yep. Also, behind the building. I knocked down the shed. Coming to try to kill me. Backing up.
Panzergranate geladen.
He just lost his machine gun.
Panzergranate geladen.
No, he's still over there, I think. If you have artillery, you could drop it on him, but...
Panzergranate geladen. Another zone captured. We have the advantage.
Watch it. There's a Sherman out over here, too, so... sort of where I just shot.
Panzergranate geladen.
Oh, we can wait. We can wait. We have two of the 3 caps, so we can wait. I didn't see you here. Backing up. Oh. Up to the left. It's looking to the right. Well, at least... Oh, it's a different one. Okay. Lots of them. Yeah. Ah, no, this guy was up on the... Watch it. He was up to the left on the ridge. We're looking there. He was right there. Don't know that he's still there, but that's where he was. Yeah. Yeah, just want you... Yep. That F2 can kill those M10s real easy if you shoot the right spot. Yeah. Or the Sherman. Just gotta place the rounds right. got him. Very good. I liked your confidence, but he, um, yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm now pursuing him.
Panzergranate geladen.
Oh, somebody else shot him. He's dead. Alright.
Panzergranate geladen.
Wait, M10. Bye bye, M10.
Panzergranate
Vehicle.
geladen.
Okay.
Another zone captured. We have the advantage.
Okay. No problem. Yeah, I had pancakes for breakfast as well today. Okay, bye. Do you like this BR or would you like to change BRs? Okay, good. Not sure, Dino, but you know, you need to press the button. There since we can't hear the other person, it's so random to hear you talking to yourself about having pancakes for breakfast. Oh, you can't hear the other members? I thought you could. Um, nope. Okay. Oh, yesterday my audio decided to um, I don't know. Speak if you would, Dino.
Hello, I'm
Okay,
Dino.
yeah, I think you can hear now. I think you can hear Dino now. Here's the post. Everybody. Okay, good. Thank you. All right. Well, I'm heading sort of around A. But yeah, no, it's supposed to be everybody here you can hear. And I don't know if it was a Windows update that I just didn't notice, or you get all your sound settings, and I have multiple stuff, and then it just decides to, no, we don't like your sound settings. We're just going to change it to something else. And no, I hadn't installed a new game or done anything like that should have caused the audio to not work. Or the other people's. Hello, the Rover 12. How you doing? Yes, it was Gaming Brother who had American pancakes, as he called them.
Yeah, those are like those are considered to be like the small, very fluffy ones.
Yes,
At least here in Germany, that's what we call them.
that would. Well, we don't have size limits on them. Sometimes they can be what we call sort of dollar, because the silver dollar was I don't know, 4 centimeters across or something. They can be that size to plate size.
Yeah, like I generally know them as like small plate size, whereas I generally know German pancakes to be generally larger, like more like a large plate size.
Right.
And they are generally they are generally a bit thinner, not super thin like French crepes.
Grapes, yeah.
Like German pancakes are kind of like between them. They tend to be larger, a bit thicker than the French ones, but not quite as thick as the American ones. And they also don't tend to be particularly fluffy. They tend to be a bit more, I guess, solid, you could say.
Right. Okay, I haven't had German pancakes. I've had basically what I would think of as American pancakes in Britain. Um, at a pancake house, they were served very much like they would in America. But another time at a sort of a tea house kind of thing, um, they were served room temperature, which I thought, I mean, it was okay, but I thought it was sort of strange. Instead of hot, freshly made. Coming to support you.
Well, I was disintegrated
Ah,
by a Sherman. Didn't know they were that powerful, but well, you never know, I suppose. Always need to learn new things.
Panzergranate geladen!
now your cover's gone. Oh, I shouldn't have.
Panzergranate
Vehicle.
geladen!
I think vehicle's still there. Oh, nope, that was a bad shot.
Panzergranate geladen!
Yes, freedom pancakes.
Funnily enough, we do also have like a German variant of American pancakes that was mostly made in East Germany and was used and is made using buttermilk.
Well, we have what we would call buttermilk pancakes as well. Don't know if they're the same
I mean,
thing,
it's
but
not that difficult, so it's like quite likely that a lot of people have pretty much the same thing. Like, I'm pretty sure what I call German pancakes are also known and widely used in America. I'm pretty sure I've seen things I would consider German pancakes in like more than one
yeah.
American movie, for example.
Now I have
It's
no
just
idea
that,
right offhand where pancakes come from in America, whether they are, roughly an indigenous idea or whether they're imported from Germany.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
pancakes are something fairly universal. They're not that difficult to make. You use pretty much
Right.
egg, flour, and
Yeah.
usually some sugar, and that's it pretty much.
Yeah. And as far as I know, they could easily be something that is um, imported from Germany into American cuisine at some point. Something maybe I should look up.
I mean, hamburgers are originally German in their.
That's my
I
understanding.
mean, that's where the name comes from.
Yeah.
And why I find the whole cheeseburger and then just add something and put burger behind it kind of hilarious. Because, like, hamburger has nothing to do with ham. It's, of course, named after the German
Right.
city of Hamburg. So
Right.
technically,
Exactly.
cheeseburger means something like cheese castle.
Peace Castle. Yeah.
Yes, burg
Right. Yeah.
means castle.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So Berg means castle.
Yep.
Berliner T2 saying. Now, I do believe it comes from the same root, but borough means basically a town
Yes, there is
in
also the
Scots.
word in. Yeah, there is in German. There's also the word Bürger, which in English, as English doesn't have the German like alternate U sound with the two dots above it, are usually
Right.
pronounced the same. So, and Bürger means citizen.
Right. Yes. Burger. I would like like a citizen. Um, but um, borough or burg, as it sort of kind of um, like Edinburgh, Edinburgh.
Yes.
Shit, is um, and a bunch of other town names in Scotland, particularly, have that, and I figured it came from the German as opposed to Anglo-Saxon, or well, maybe it's Anglo-Saxon. I don't know.
I mean, Anglo-Saxon is, at least in the original one, a form of German. So,
Yes, you're right, but the distinction would be: did it come to into the language through the Anglo-Saxon migration, or later contact with, in essence, for Scotland particularly, the Hanseatic League, which would include the Dutch as well. So um, we get influences like hamburger is German, not Anglo-Saxon, if you know what I mean.
yes, of course, but of course that comes from a much later. That comes like hamburger comes from like I believe the 20th is
Or
or
19th,
at the
20th or 19th century. Yes,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
that's what I mean. I'm trying to make that distinction as when it enters the language, not
yeah.
not you know that Anglo-Saxon is not an early German. Have you heard Anglo-Saxon being
I
spoken?
have I have heard like Anglo-Saxon being spoken. I was I'm not an etymologist at all. I'm somewhat interested in old languages, so I sometimes look for certain things.
Because to me,
But
when I've heard Anglo-Saxon, it seems
yeah,
very
it sounds
familiar,
completely
but it's
different
just
from
out
what
of
I
reach.
German.
It's just out of reach for me to understand it. It seems like sounds very familiar, but it's just because it doesn't so much sound, like when I would hear somebody speak in German. It sounds like, oh, it's familiar, but what are they saying? And I just don't quite get it.
Yeah,
Is for
it's
me.
something actually quite similar to me, as I am, of course, from North Germany, like at the southern tip of
Right.
Jutland.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so I'm from pretty much from the area where the Angles
Right.
specifically came from. In fact, I'm quite close to the region we call Anglia. Angeln. So it is, and while I sadly do not speak our regional dialect, well, it's actually not a dialect. It's actually a proper separate language from High German.
Mm-hmm.
Plattdeutsch or Low German, I suppose, would be technically it would be Flat German, but is officially classified as its own language.
Yeah.
But it is much closer to like Anglo-Saxon and also to like English. For example, the word door is actually pronounced the same in or almost the same in Low German as it is in English.
Mm-hmm.
Door.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of variations to English. Now, when I lived in Scotland, I met one person, um, an old lady who spoke Scots, which is its own language. It is not Scottish accented English with a few odd words. It's its own language. I'm heading sort of towards A. It was really hard to understand her. She seemed to be able to understand us. I don't know that she owned a television. She definitely owned a radio. So she listened to the BBC, she talked about. She lived out in white, whatever. She lived out in the countryside. Now, when I say old lady, this was back in the 90s. She remembers as a young girl World War One, and some of the um, events there. So it gives you the age, and that's the only person I spoke to, and she spoke in Scots, and it was tough following her.
Yeah, like again, I sadly don't speak it. I knew a couple of classmates who did speak it. Plattdeutsch is a endangered and language, but it's not as endangered as some others. It is still spoken by quite a few like young people, and
Right.
most newspapers have at least one small article written in it. Where I'm from.
Right.
And you do regularly have like things where like I think like 5 or 4 times in school when we also had like people coming and introducing us to it, to like and so on. But of course, my grandparents and my great grandmother all pretty much spoke it.
Mm-hmm.
Some more so than others, and at times they also had, of course, with their own relatives, then whole conversations in it, which I was sometimes able to follow, sometimes not, especially as the older people also sometimes speak that one with a heavy dialect, so
Mm-hmm.
it's even more difficult to follow. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's always quite interesting.
Yeah. Modern media is leveling out dialects. Not
Yeah,
completely.
German dialect are
Well,
dying.
German, American, everywhere because we're all hearing the same. Oh boy, I'm having connection problems.
Yeah, I'm also having connection issues. Yeah, it's also
And
the fact that, for example, of course, that yeah, I know, bad network. But yeah, dialects are largely disputed. It's also generally considered like in quite a few places poor form to speak with dialect, to the point where certain dialects are also have like bad connotations in Germany. For example, a Saxon dialect is generally considered a bad thing because like Saxony is considered like a place where there are like lots of neo-Nazis and fascists and whatever. So when you speak with like a strong Saxon dialect, then people think like, you're some kind of either idiot country bumpkin or some kind of right-wing asshole, or because that, and for other people on the opposite side, it's because the last leader of East Germany had a strong Saxon
Accent, yeah.
dialect, so that's also another thing. So yeah, but I mean, we at least still have some. Like you have other places like France where they have almost completely disappeared, from what I know. And then, of course, you have certain German dialects that are pretty much completely extinct, such as Silesian and East Prussian, for example, or the Baltic dialects. Should you be interested in like hearing German dialects, there is a video clip on YouTube from a old German, I think from a comedian. It's like from some old television program, and he gives a small weather report for different regions in Germany, including the Eastern Territories, in those regional dialects. Even if you can't understand German, it gives you a bit of an idea how they sound in like.
Right. I don't know if it'd be lost on me or not, the dialects differences. But let's see. ZZ says, check out how some rural Frisians speak. On the northern part of the Netherlands, they use English words that will be recognizable. Yeah, and I'll get to T2's comment in a moment. The sort of full term or full is Anglo-Saxons, Utes, and Frisians is what I learned that the migrations were of into what becomes England. So yeah, Frisians are definitely part of it. It's fun. A long time ago, and kept the language when I was in PA. I could understand German, PA, Deutsch, especially since it's similar to the dialect from the region I'm originally from, but of course it's stuck in time. Stuck in time and a bunch of English integrated into it. I also recently watched a documentary about migrants to the South America who kept their language, but it was quite different as well, as it was a bit harder to follow. Yeah, there's definitely histories of that. Like supposedly both Quebecois, the French-speaking people of Canada, and Cajuns, the French-speaking people of Louisiana, are very hard to be understood by modern French speakers because it is very archaic, especially in the Cajuns, very archaic French. It is not modern. And so, yeah, you have that. You have, if you know where Cape Hatteras, which is little islands that are off the basically sort of like Virginia coast, sort of along there, that they speak with the natives out there, at least like back in the 80s and 90s. I don't know what the people today sound like, but speak with a sort of rare English dialect. Instead of wristband, it's like Risbon and other, words that some are archaic words that are lost. Others are just, pronunciation differences that that ossified or calcified or however you want to say it here in um, remote areas of the Americas that rarely heard other languages being spoke at all, other English or other anything. And at most they read. Because in America, up into the 20th century, most everybody could read, and most everybody, and I do mean this, most everybody, these we're talking, Native Americans. Now I don't mean the Indians. I mean people native to America, but from all, people born here, but whether German background or French background, they could all read, and they all read the Bible. The Bible was the book in every household. It was very much not just go to church. It was everybody had their Bible, and everybody read it. And so people could read, but and that was important because it was within the American sort of religious thought process. It was important that you read the Bible, not that you just went to church and had somebody interpret lessons for you, but that you read it. But that didn't that is how do I put this? Not who do I shoot first? They both went out of.
Greetings.
Hey Fritz.
Hello.
That's very much reading gives you vocabulary, but it doesn't give you pronunciation.
Yeah, I don't want to cut in, but are you playing right now?
Yes, if you want to join us, you can.
Of
We were at
course,
4-3.
4-3. I thought you were driving Tigers.
No,
We got
not right.
sick of the Tigers.
We've been doing a lot of Tigers. I know it's sort of still in the description, but of the
4-3. Give me a second.
Jag Panzer IV, Hetzer, those kind of things.
Yes.
We're just talking language and how it's evolved over the years, and how much German there is in the Anglo languages.
They're all Germanic languages, right?
Well,
yeah, but Germanic does not equal German.
Yeah, and English proper, because you have Anglo-Saxon and then you have English. To get to English, you have to have it's post-Norman conquest, so you have to have a large dose of French in there to get to English. And so, I don't know if you know these names, but names like Chaucer.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, we'll get you in the next mission. Are old authors that go back to the Middle Ages, and I can read that, but it's still very different from what I'm used to. And what the French do for us is, with our language, French has lots of problems, but is it gives us a lot of variances on words, and so we don't have to compound words, meaning with English you can have deer and venison, so instead of deer and deer meat, because venison is basically the French word for deer, but we use it for the meat. Oh my god. Fuzz occasionally just sound way off. Like the thing that shouldn't exist. Yeah, I don't know that they should exist, but or should. Now that's all being lost. All those languages, and they're going to be lost as a spoken language. Fortunately, there are people that do record all the old languages and have preserved recordings of them, which is nice. But
I'm always fascinated when I hear YouTubers talking in Old Norse and so on. It sounds very nice.
right, oh yeah. Now periodically I hear Toyjet and Eric speak in Norwegian, and it does have a bit of a German sound to me, but I definitely hear it as different. It doesn't. I don't. I wouldn't confuse the two as as being the same language. At least
Yeah,
as
and
an outsider.
actually, the language is they speak. I mean, not the older variant they speak of that language, like the very old English, as an example, is very close to German. There's
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a,
We
a lot similarities there.
yeah we were talking Anglo-Saxon. Yeah, I sent you an invite, Fritz. Yeah, Anglo-Saxon. For when I was saying to Dino, to me when I hear Anglo-Saxon, it doesn't sound the same as German. It sounds very familiar to me, but just out of reach of understanding. It has the same sort of rhythms and tonal sounds that I'm used to in English, but it's just beyond, like I say, understanding. Okay, I'm heading towards C.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just telling you where I'm going, guys. You don't have to follow if you don't want to. But yeah. So
Geschlossen
yeah.
geht zum Strand.
Oh, demonic exodus. Anglo-Saxons are British. Um. Well,
Not
yeah,
really.
but and no. It's how are you using the term British? Um, the British were there before the Anglo-Saxons. If you're using it in the modern term, British is anybody sort of basically born and raised in the British Isles, which includes people of Pakistani and Indian descent. That's British because they're not English, they're not Scots, they're not Welsh, they're not Irish, um, or
They're not
Cornish,
Saxon.
but they are British in the sense that they were born and raised and speak English like a Brit, and they have a lot of similar cultural things. So, if you're using the term British in the modern sense, yes. If you're using the term British in the old sense, then no, because the British are the people that were there before the Anglo-Saxons
Yeah, so
show
that
up.
would be then using Brittonic instead of
Yes.
British is what I generally use to differentiate just the British, i.e., people who are born in Britain,
Right.
with the old British, which I then use the word Brittonic or Brythonic to
Yeah,
refer to. So like the Welsh, pretty much.
yes, you have um, different distinctive subcultures there. Um, the Bretons of France, of Brittany, are a mixture of Gauls and Britons who fled the Anglo-Saxons. They were able to stave off direct conquest by Charlemagne, Charles the Great, and they were, a subject kingdom or something, but not, like I say, not direct. And so that they were able to. And the Welsh and the Cornish are basically Britons who held out in their coastal enclaves along with the Northumbrians, though they fall fairly quick. Where you go a bit further north, you get into the Pictish cultures, which are a Celtic British, but they're not Britons. They're a different group. And then you have the Irish, group, which includes the group called the Scotti, which invade and eventually assimilate the Picts into Scotland. Um, so yeah, those are all different Celtic groups that have a very different language, very different gods. As opposed, and I say that because Odin and Woden I take to be the same um, god with just different pronunciations. At least I take it to
Yeah,
be.
pretty much.
I'm not saying all the traditions are all the whatever exactly the same, but what Jupiter and Zeus or something are definitely different gods. Poseidon and Neptune are
Ever
Poseidon
Bomber
is.
Gamer?
I got bombed. Yes. Um, and the Romans like to say, "Oh, our Neptune is equal to your Poseidon" or something. Well, no, they have very different things. But so I would say at least from all the stuff that I've read, the Celtic gods are distinctly different than the Norse, Germanic gods. So I take that as a very different cultural viewpoint.
But it was both ancestral based. That's
Yeah,
what they.
yeah. It there are similarities there, but it really they've done DNA genetic testing on Britons, and they've done genetic testing on very old skeletons. Stonehenge age type skeletons that are what are considered pre-Celtic, and they're finding the same genetics. So it wasn't so much as the old thought was that the Celts came in and replaced, conquered, killed off, bred out of existence, whatever you want to say, the um, the local Britons, the people from there when the Celtic culture comes in. But it seems to be much more of a adopting a culture, and there aren't the markers coming from the Celtic culture. Celtic culture sort of springs out of the northern parts of the Danube River Valley, as far as I remember, and so it moves up and across modern day France, Gaul or whatever back then, and into Britain. So it really, to me, I know you want to say that they're all sort of you know similar peoples, and so genetically, yeah, I don't know how. Obviously, we can look and see. Um, Britons and Norse and Germans are all much closer, say, than Italians and Greeks. So yeah, they have a closer genetic background. But I really see Celts as a different cultural group than I see the Germanic Norse groups. At least that's my interpretation of all of this. And God, I'm just, guessing in the dark because, and anybody who is any different because we have so little information, about things back then. Pakistani and Indian people are Punjab people. Well, oh, there are a bunch of a bunch of genetic groups, and I like using that term because I'm trying to not be controversial and use the R term, because genetics is a thing, um, and I'm trying to not value lade, one as being better or worse than another. Um, you
No, but there are
definitely,
differences.
yeah, there are differences. But in India, you definitely, because I remember back in college seeing this one guy and sort of caught me staring at him. And I will say this: he would have been um, a poster boy for, one of Hitler's or Goering's posters is the genetic master race. And I mean it. He would have, except he had jet black hair, black eyes, very, very dark skin, and he was from India. So he is of the quote unquote
I mean,
Aryan type.
the facial features
The
were.
bones.
Yeah.
and the skin, the muscle, not just the bones, but the muscles were very what I would call European. And then you see other Indians that
I mean, the
have
funny thing actually is
very
that
rounded features, if you know what I mean.
I mean, the funny thing is that like Himmler would have looked at that and been like, and would have done a little happy dance probably.
Yes, he would have.
Given that he had his whole little theory of the Atlantean people having fled to India and Tibet and
Right,
proof that it is the ancient homeland of the Aryans.
right. And but we do believe, and I almost said no because I don't know if we know, but we do
Wait,
believe that there
wait,
were some
were you
Aryan
making fun of the
migrations.
Reichsführer?
We do believe that there were some Aryan tribes that migrated into India. So
Yeah, I mean that is largely I mean that's where the word Aryan comes from the Hindu Vedas, where they talk about these invaders from like the north.
right,
And that's
and
where the whole obsession with Aryans began, because the idea was, well, these people cannot be anything but like ancient Europeans, Germanics, whatever. I
right,
mean, they probably actually came from like the steppe area in like the to the northeast of the Caucasus.
right. And I know in India, and I don't know the details, but I know that they are very tribal and very, the caste system as well, on top of being just tribal. So, and you don't marry outside of your caste system. So I don't know how somebody, and again, to me, the Nazis, they have a strange 19th century idea of genetics. And I don't know that our idea of genetics is correct either. We know the 19th century sort of ideas and whatnot, and trying to develop, breed for purity or whatever is nonsense. To try to like breed out bad traits and stuff. It just doesn't work that way. At least our current understanding. So I don't know how this person, whether to me, bone structure looked very European, not like, and I really do mean sculpted, as if you know someone was doing the Nazi ideal. Um, but we can see like Tamils and some other ethnic groups that look very different. So, did this person get dark eyes and hairs, just some sort of mutation because of being in the Sun Belt, as it were, or probably some genetic intermixing, but mostly sticking to themselves as a group? I don't know. And so, India is a complicated, um, you know, continent of languages, of genetic groups, and to the point that at some point, maybe like 1,000+ years ago, I mean, long time ago, somebody, presumably as slaves, got a bunch of Africans, and there's like 10, 20 million in one region, black people that are rather culturally Indian, but they are clearly from the sub-Saharan Africa, and they like the other groups, they sort of keep to themselves, marry amongst themselves and whatnot. And then there's like the newest group in India is the half Europeans, if you will, and they marry and live very much um, amongst themselves and not intermix with the rest of the Indians. And it's both from themselves as well as rejection by the Indians. And so it's a it defy that's what I'm sort of saying. Yeah, yes, there is the Punjab that India and Pakistan, and there are definitely local differences for sure, but is just sort of the division of Islamic and Hindu India in a way.
I mean, the funniest thing is that like previously, like if we go to the ancient times, we also had like the Indian Greeks.
Oh, well, absolutely. You have the various cities that Alexander uh, found or sets up, and the big sort of name in there sort of north of Afghanistan is Bactria. That was a Greco um, overculture of sort of elites over whatever the locals were, and was maintaining tentative contacts for hundreds of years back to Greece. They would, hire tutors and whatever from Greece to come out to there. And so they're definitely that. Let's see. Dominic Exodus says some people believe aliens landed here thousands of years ago and genetically revised the land. Yeah, some believe we exist in a time exploit. Yeah. Um yes, some people believe all kinds of things. Um I don't say they're wrong, but I don't have any good evidence for it. Meaning it's just theories to me. It's not something that I believe is to be true. It's just the sort of ancient aliens kind of thing. Aliens did this. It's because it had got to be aliens.
Yeah, well, that's sadly going to be it for me for today.
Well, I guess Fritz and I will play another couple of missions. Probably. At least I'm up for a couple of more.
Well, then I wish you good luck. Have
All right.
fun. Bye.
See you, Dina. I'm just fascinated by culture and how we got here and sort of where we're going with it all. That's my fascination.
Yeah, that's true. Bottom or top?
Bottom, I'm going to go down around the bottom of the map. I just like the open battles more than the city.
And it's really strange, like you can change a culture a lot. If you take East Germans and West Germans as an example,
Yes.
they're still very, very different. And it
Oh,
was
they
only
are.
40 years, basically.
And you're very right in pointing that out. At some point, I wouldn't say yet, but at some point, Austrians are not going to be Germans. I mean, they'll be Germanic, but they will have changed and separated enough, long enough. And like you say, for the while that the East Germans were separated, they,
Yeah, they're
are
different,
different
but
ideas, different, and
still Germans. It's like
yeah,
Bavarians. They're very different from all the Germans too, but they're still
right,
Germans. And to me, like the Austrians, you know.
right, yes. Oh well, you're very much of a pan-Germanist, but
Yeah.
but it's the difference. I'm sure for somebody between North and South Korea, um, culturally and many other ways, um, even though they all have the same background at one point.
That thing is, oh, there's still alive.
Yeah, they're still alive even though they're on fire, and I'm just keep hitting this pillar with the machine gun. You got him. Somebody else shooting.
Yeah, with
me.
machine gun. It was just a truck.
Yep.
Another zone captured. We have the advantage.
There's a gun right there. Building. Oh, another truck.
Panzergranate geladen.
Dead.
Good job.
Guy got me at the villager. Or at the windmill. Building behind the windmill there.
I'm advancing a little. Oh fuck! There's a guy in C.
Yeah.
Behind the
The
building.
guy up front, no, towards their spawn too. Be careful, he just fired. I don't have a good view on him, but
Okay, I got him. Someone shot me from the church here. Ah, above the church to the right.
right. I'm still
there.
repairing. I can't move. Okay, well,
Okay.
yeah, I can't move. 12 seconds. Seconds. 3, 2. Okay, somebody got him. It looked like. Okay, I'm moving up. Now I both, because of my background.
Still up there.
Yeah, I see him. I'm gonna. Okay, just shot a little low.
I got
You
him.
got. Yep, good work. Have worked in cultural preservation and studies like that I want to preserve old cultures, but I also think cultures do need to change over time. You know, they shouldn't be frozen.
There's the ISU up there.
Yeah,
Big one.
I got him.
Oh, good. Good job. I'm advancing to the wreck, to the truck. Ah, yes, I see. KV1, I think.
Yeah, I'm in face him. Hit. No damage.
Hit him too. 0 damage. That's a
Fired at me.
KV1.
Yeah, missed him. And the host one.
Got a critical hit. No gunner, no loader.
He's backed up, I think. I see. Oh no, that's friendly engine smoke. We got a guy in their spawn, basically.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, guy out to the left. Guy out to the left in the field. T-34.
Oh, I'm...
Cracked him.
Yeah, I got him. His driver's dead. But if he
Another,
shoots again...
another track,
I'm
2
dead.
tracks down. Let's see if I can actually hit. Sure.
Yeah, I
Okay,
got
you
him.
got him. Yep.
Pairing.
Panzergranate geladen.
This is a good game.
Yep.
Again up on the hill. Where our comrade is burning.
Alright. I'm looking. I see Rex.
There, it's directly from your viewpoint to the left
Yeah.
of the burning Panzer IV there. KV1.
Yeah,
I
he.
got
I
him.
just the flames are just keeping me from seeing him. See him shooting from you. Let's see if I can.
Yes, I killed him.
Okay.
Yeah, the Jagd Panzer IV is just awesome.
Oh yes. Oh yes. No, I love this. I like the 47V. You know, the bigger gun better, but just get too up tiered to modern stuff.
Yeah.
More likely. But they're both good.
NEM 10? Where?
I'm looking. Binoculars don't see anything. It's from my
Ah,
viewpoint.
up there, to the left of the hill.
Oh,
I got him.
you got him. Good.
I just saw his machine gun.
Yes. The 50 is great, but it does sort of give you away a bit.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Another zone captured. We have the advantage.
Oh, 6 kills already. Okay.
Yes, you're doing very good.
Someone's shooting at something.
Well, they're still battling over B. So.
Yeah. I don't think they will come.
No, I think we are
I'm
we're
trying to
sort of
push.
done. I'll keep an overwatch if you're going to move around. I'm scanning with my binoculars to see if I see any movement.
Oh, they're capturing A.
Yeah, but we got B.
I can see no one. Oh, they can't see me. Maybe I bait them out. Okay.
We won.
GG. Team G.
Yes. Yeah, no, like you're saying, East German from West German, and I see that in some of the maps of the recent voting. Who's winning the recent voting is just clearly a, you know,
Yeah, because we got recently fucked by an autocratic system,
right.
and we remember that,
Yes.
and it was exactly the way it is now here.
Yeah. No. Oh, I believe very much it's an autocratic system. I think Europe is teetering on not being a democracy anymore, but becoming a bureaucracy, actually governed by
Yeah, well,
unelected
the
bureaucrats.
the speech of JD Vance had a very big impact here.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever you're ready, hit ready. Now I
Nah,
know
I'm dropping out.
oh, okay. I know the governments are freaking out badly, but how are the people actually taking it? This
They
JD
took
Vance's
it.
speech.
They took it very well.
That's good
They
to
they
hear.
waited for someone to say that,
Right.
someone important, because no one from here will do it except of the AFD,
Hmm.
and they get ridiculed and so on. But you cannot just easily ridicule the whole fucking USA.
Right. Yeah. No. From
'Cause-
what I'm hearing, a lot of the policies of the AFD. Okay. Thanks, ZZ. Have a good evening or afternoon. The AFD is just sort of like old school, pre, when it was still West Germany, CDU, CSU politics, really.
Yes, yes, it's a centrist right party. It's not far
Yes.
right. It's just
Right.
centrist right. So it's
Yes.
a conservative party,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
their program is basically exactly the same of the CDU 20 years ago. You know,
Right. And
it's
that's how I'm interpreting what's going on. Um,
yeah, but that even that is called Nazi. You
I
know, it's
know.
so stupid. It's so ridiculous.
And you know, I'm not an extremist, and I fear what had been going on in the U.S., though it's shifted with Trump's election, and what is going on in Europe with things like canceling the Romanian election because of Russian
That
interference,
yes, yes, that's very big.
is pushing people to the extremes. That's you
Yes,
know
and they only did this. They only did this because of the big fucking NATO base that's built up there right now.
right, and you know you know I don't fear the classical right, you know the old pre World War One style right, you know, but and I and I know American we're more individualists, you're more collectivists in that you like government run healthcare and other things more than we do,
Yeah,
and that's fine. It's a different sort of viewpoints, and it just it's just uh, it, uh, I'm
yeah.
seeing.
I don't think you can get rid of this kind of socialism out of us. That's not.
Yeah, well,
That
yeah,
will
I'm
not
not
happen.
suggesting that we should. But we it's just uh, the like I say, the bureaucracy, the false choice between the two main parties in any government. You want to look at the so-called left and right, the normal one, and this is why I hope what America is doing will break the situation apart. But it's you know I I I I think we're at a crossroads right now. We're going to see how this goes um,
Yeah,
for the future.
I'm afraid of all this shit because Europe right now, it's just I don't know how and why, because usually we are a puppet of the US, you know? Maybe this is all a big theater because
No,
because
no, I don't think so. Um, I The U.S. I think, has
maybe
changed
we are an
direction.
out of control puppet maybe.
Well, you are you are a puppet of the left America, if you will. But
Yeah, Biden
and
puppet, yeah.
yeah, and I am shocked at and it people mistake it for U.S. aid, USAID, and how much that they have
Yeah,
been pumping.
the name choice is really ridiculous, right?
Right. And they try to hide it as this, and they do a few programs as if it's like food for, starving people in Africa. They do that some.
Yes, yes,
That's
I follow that. I follow that. I follow all the Musk interviews on that and
right.
so on.
And so,
Lately on
yes,
Rogan, it was excellent, really good.
yes, yes. And I've only seen clips of it, but I do want to watch the full thing. And so, and so I think that has set up so many and pushed so many institutions that puppet of America is still sort of there. And America is changing. Europeans don't hate Americans, but we're not like you. We're different. And so you guys, Europeans, when they think of Americans and that they like, they think of New York elite New Yorkers. That is not what America really is. And so
Yeah,
we're shifting and changing away from that here in America. And I think Europe, and I actually thought he was going to be, and everybody thought he was going to be much more of a EU puppet. But Donald Tusk, the leader of Poland, um, I think just within the last 24 hours, and came out and said, going after the Europeans, that um, 450 million Europeans are relying upon 300 million Americans to defend them from 150 million Russians, and that that is not appropriate. And so um, I
Yeah, but
think there.
that's a typical ridiculous Polish statement, you know,
Well,
because there is no Russian enemy.
well, no, okay. Well, Poland fears it, but the point is
Yeah, Poland,
that
that's tactic. I don't think Poland fears it. I think Poland wants it.
well, I don't know,
Poland
but
wants to be very important because they have never been important at all.
I
They
I
have a
I
crazy
I I
crazy
think I
mindset.
think I think Polish Polish have been pushed from all sides for so long. The dividing up of Poland between Prussia, Austria, and Russia, and then interwar periods in World War II and the Cold War. They fear they I think it's part of their national psyche, and the big fear more right now is Russia than Germany. But I think they also fear
Yes, yes,
Germany.
but when you hear the Poles talking, the Poles these days they talk like the Poles of 39.
Right. Yeah,
They dream of greater Poland. They still accuse Germany of everything. They still want lands that never belonged to them. It's really ridiculous what they think and they want, and they want the
well,
biggest army. They want to be the protector of Europe. Ah, forget it.
yeah, but they are aligning with America right
Yes,
now.
I
And
know.
and
At least that's kind of a good thing because their cities are safe. They are
right. And that's part of that, and Hungary, and I think this
yes,
Romanian movement
Slovakia.
wants to align with America. I think a lot of former Eastern Europe, and like we're seeing, like you're saying, within East Germany, to use that old term, it's aligning with America with the AFD. So
Yes.
with this new America, so we're seeing this realignment. What I found sort of shocking was that some major fuel company in Norway says we're no longer going to refuel, because I guess they have or had a contract, refuel American naval vessels because of we're not supporting Zelensky anymore. What? Another NATO member, Norway, is going to not give fuel to American ships? That just seems stupid and ridiculous. I mean, you know, um, so I
Yeah,
think
to be honest, I think and I hope that NATO in 10 years is not there anymore.
yeah, I know that's your opinion. I hope it is, but I hope it's reformed. I'm an anti-EU, pro-NATO person because to me that's a defensive alliance, not a political domination. I know you see
Yeah,
it more as a
but
political domination,
yeah,
but
yeah, it
um,
is.
and I know you do.
By
But I
definition,
see the
okay.
EU as a much heavier domination. And
Yeah, true.
so
The EU needs to change to just
a
what is
trade
it
area,
called?
or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
and
a
and
trade
and
union or something.
yeah,
But
and
that's
so
all, not a
from
government.
from from my perspective as an American, and I do look at two world wars that we had to fight with Germany that we got dragged into because we are pro-British, and you fight the British, and you eventually get us involved, and that's just sort of been the way it is. That I am want a light American domination of Europe. Light, not heavy, not telling canceling elections or anything like the EU's doing, but just sort of like governing rails. Don't go too far to the left. Don't become communist. Don't become fascist. Just sort of stay somewhere in the center and stay sort of whatever. That's what I want as an American. You don't have to want the same thing. I'm not trying to convince you to want what I
Yeah,
want.
you know,
But
the
and
thing
so
is, the
yeah,
thing is the modern, even, I'm more right than others, and
right.
I
Hmm.
have I know a lot of people from the far right, so to
Right.
say,
Yeah.
and no one of them, no one of us, no one of any kind of the furthest right that exists in Germany is anti anyone, basically. There's no one that wants to strike against anyone. There's no one that wants to conquer the Poles
Right.
or
And
fight the French or fight the Tommies. It's just
I get that.
it's basically they're so much connected. The far right in Germany is connected to all the far rights around
Right.
them.
And
Like,
I get that. And how do I put this?
and I
Nikki,
even start thinking about not calling it anymore the far right or far left or
right,
something.
I
It's
know,
just
but Nikki, Willie, excuse me, I'm coughing here, and George were all cousins and didn't hate each other.
yeah, okay.
You know, Nicholas of Russia, Wilhelm of Germany, and George of England were all cousins and didn't hate each other, and they fought a world war that they could not. After the sort of stalemate happened, they couldn't, like, okay, how do we negotiate our way out of it? We're all first cousins. Grandmama was Queen Victoria.
Yeah, okay.
And so right now you're right. I'm not disputing what you're saying, Fritz. But give it 20 years, give it 30 years, and what will the
Yeah,
world look
but
like?
you know our mindset, the German mindset of the standard German, like
Right.
it's there is no even if you want to, you cannot find people to join the army. Whatever you pay them,
Right.
whatever you give them, because they don't want to, because they see it as a bad thing.
Right.
And I think you need generations to recover from this
Yeah.
re-education
And and,
downwards to
and
the weakness.
yeah, and you're right. I'm just sort of looking down the road, maybe a bit further, generations down the road. Um, of young people when you know. But yeah, yeah. No, it's just, we're going to see what is going to happen. Trump would allow Europe to continue fighting in Ukraine, but Trump is not going to continue to American fund Zelensky anymore. That's done. So we'll see
Yeah,
if
but it's
Europe.
all it's unrealistic, it's saber rattling. Europe can't fight there. With what?
No, I
America,
agree. I
no,
agree.
no, not America. The Brits can send maybe, I don't know, 20,000 at the most.
Oh God, yeah, no, and I don't even think they're
And
really thinking. Well, the Brits were thinking of sending, after negotiated peace, sending border observers to make sure the Russians don't attack again or whatever, or some other BS like that. But I don't think they're going to send combat troops, to go actually fight in the battles. But they're gonna send money and weapons, I think. But we'll see how much they can afford to do, and I don't think it's going to be very much. Huh. Yeah, we'll see. This may break NATO. It may. I don't know if it will, but it may. Um, the thing that I think is going to collapse, that's going to change the world, will be the UN collapsing, and so borders are going to shift and change around the world. Now, I don't think it's going to be a lot in Europe right away outside of the former Soviet Union. That's obviously we're getting border changes there, whether it's Georgia or Ukraine or wherever. Um, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. Okay, Fritz. Well, I'm going to go too. Have a good evening. Talk to you soon.
yeah,
See everyone out
yeah.
there on the
See you,
channel,
gamer.
ZZ
That was
and
fun. See you.
yep, and Dominique and T2 if you're still around. Thanks so much.